Welcome. So today's questions is in the area of relationships again. And the question is this relationship good for me? So I'm going to shuffle in a second, but very, very odd. You see how red this is right here? I feel like I burned myself, but I didn't. It's weird. It's very, very weird. It feels like a burn, but I didn't burn myself. Like last night, I cooked. I didn't burn myself. Today, I haven't touched an oven or a candle. These aren't real candles, so it really feels like a burn. It wasn't in the shower. Oh my God, it's so weird. I don't know. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? I should look up right hand palm and see what that symbolizes. Everything symbolizes something, right? All right, what was my question? Oh, is this relationship good for me? Is this relationship good for me? You know, we are in the beginning of Aries, in the beginning of a new cycle, you know, spring, you know, when they say spring cleaning, maybe relationships, you need to do some spring cleaning. Maybe some people need to go. Could be romantic, could be old toxic friendships, coworkers, you know, family members. Maybe you don't have to cut them off, but you can like limit your communication, all that kind of stuff. So is this relationship good for me? One more shuffle and then I'm going to cut and then I'm going to go. Is this relationship good for me? Let's see what the cards say. I love the Magical Hours Tarot. That's what this deck is. That's why I have all the boxes from everything I read from here and along with my books. So they're in the videos. So if anybody wants to know what they are, they can just see them. All right. 3-card spread. Is this relationship good for me? 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Let's see. 9s are, you know, fruition, things coming to a culmination, lessons are learned, fulfillment. It also means fulfillment. I mean, if you look at her, she looks super content, right? So she doesn't look stressed at all. So we'll see what the other cards say. Is this relationship good for me? Oh, 5 of Cups. Oh boy, 7 of Cups. Okay. I might have to pull another card or two. Okay, well, you know, you see the 9 of Cups, but seeing it next to the 9 of Pentacles. Cups are all about emotions. Cups are about our relationships. Pentacles also anything in the physical form. So relationships, it could be money, it could be our health, whatever. But we're asking about relationships. So 9s being about nearing completion and lessons being integrated, we could be at a stage where we are asking ourselves, where do I need to go? Where do I need to move forward with this relationship? Although she is very, very contented. I mean, if I was asking about money and this came up, I would be like, wow, this is a great space to be in. But we're asking about relationships, and the 5 of Cups being next to it is why I'm getting this feeling is that you are questioning your relationship. Okay? So if you see the 5 of Cups, you're focused on the 3 cups that are broken. You are looking at what is broken in your relationship, and you're not focusing on what is blooming. So not all is lost here about this relationship, because you personally are feeling a sense of contentment. I mean, look at her face. Maybe it's just personal. Maybe it's where you are in your life with who you are as a person. And so you're wondering, you know, is this relationship moving forward worth it for me? Because I am really happy where I am right now with who I am as a person. Because when we get to the 7 of Cups, you see these choices. I mean, look at the choices. you have in front of you. And the choices are vast. You know, you're assessing, you're doing your inner work right now, and we're asking about relationships. So you're assessing. Like I'm getting the impression, like for some people, that you may actually be doing like a pros and cons like list, like writing down on a pad. Like I can see like pro/con, like with the line under it, and then you're like, well, they do this and they do this and they do this. And then in the con list, well, they're not this, they won't, you know, budge on this, they're stubborn, whatever your list is. Like I can totally see people doing that right now. So it's not really answering the question, is this relationship good for me? This is asking you to look at your relationship and see, by doing your own pros and cons list, and you're assessing your relationship right now, whether you're ready to move on or cut it or change it or shift it, because you are seeing the problems, and there are problems. Fives are about that. Fives are about conflict. Fives are about shaking up the structure. Fives are about change. So you are seriously considering walking away and making some changes, but you're just not quite there, because I didn't get a definitive that yes, this relationship is good for me, or no, this relationship is not good for me. This is about you making your own personal choice, and you asking yourself, moving forward, am I taking this relationship? And the relationship doesn't have to be romantic. It could be romantic, but the Lovers card didn't come out. The Two of Cups didn't come out. So these could be any relationships. These could be family relationships. These could be friendships. These could be coworkers, any relationship. Let me see what else is here. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Okay. The Seven of Swords. These are some truths and some challenges, and you know, the Moon being our subconscious and what's, you know, internal, what we're thinking about. You know, you're weighing things heavily, right? You're thinking things through, and you're considering like what you want to carry forward with you. You know, swords are all about the mind. It's all about our challenge, all about our thoughts, and it could be challenges, it could be truths. So you're weighing out your truths right now. You're really not there. So let me see what's on the bottom of the deck, because I'm not getting, like I said, a definitive yes or no. Okay, well, we got the Empress here. So, I'm sorry, let me hold this up for you to see. Okay. Well, the Empress is about abundance and about fertility. Fertility doesn't necessarily mean being fertile with pregnancy. It's about creativity. It's about nature's bounty. So you want abundance in your life. So that's what you're doing. You're weighing your options right now. You're in a really good place personally, and this is where you want to be going. This is where you're going. And you're making some decisions right now, whether certain relationships or a certain relationships is sustainable for you to move forward. So you haven't gotten a definitive yes or a definitive no. It's really, the cards are really telling you, you have to do some real internal work here and see what choices you want to make moving forward. Okay? I don't know if that was helpful or not. But I mean, that's what the cards are telling me. So if you're here watching this and you're thinking, well, that doesn't help me, you have the answer inside of you, because the card isn't telling me whether this relationship is good for you or not. The cards are telling me that you have to decide if you want to take this relationship forward. If this relationship, whichever one you're thinking about, can come with you to where you're going. This is where you're going, right? And you are seeing the things that are not working. You are very focused on what is not working. And you are weighing your emotions, you're making choices, and you're thinking about it a lot. And you know, I said some people I can see doing a pros and cons list. Maybe do that. Do a pros and cons list and sit on it, pray on it, meditate on it, see how you feel about it. All right, I hope you got something out of it, that there was some insight there for you. Yeah, I would love your thoughts. You know, if you want to share, please feel free to share. Love your thoughts. All right. See you next time. Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.